Hello and welcome to my channel Inspiring Life Changes. This is a general reading for all Cancerians out there, Moon, Sun, Venus and Rising. If you don't know where your Moon placement is or your Venus or your Rising, I will be putting a link below in the description for a free astro birth chart. Like I said, this is a general reading, so it probably won't resonate with all Cancerians out there. Hopefully it will resonate with some of you. If you would like a more personal private reading, I will also be adding my email so you can get in contact with me if you would like a private reading, and I will contact you back and we'll take it from there. Today, or with this particular video, I've decided to lay the cards out before I do the reading because it's taking up too much time to actually do the shuffling at the same time. So I'm going to start the reading off for yourselves with a Namaste card by Tony Carmine Salerno. And the card that you got today, Cancer, a beautiful card. Look there, it's a beautiful woman with a radiant, or like a tree, like a tree person with the radiance behind her and all these fishes swimming around at the bottom at her feet, which for me is a very Cancerian thing. Being in the water, it's a very Cancerian element, is water. And right at the very heart, we actually have a heart at the centre, and everything else is radiating out from that heart. And the actual card itself is the blessing of endless possibility. And it says, allow your inner child to be the master for a while and don't take things too seriously. Have fun and explore the world of endless possibility. Something wonderful is created through imagination and innocence. So there's the fishes at the bottom with all the water. And a beautiful sort of purples and blues, which kind of relate to the higher energies as well. I'm just going to quickly close this door. I didn't realise it was open. Sorry about that. I need to shut the door so that the cat doesn't come in and disrupt everything, as she's prone to do if she gets the chance. So at the centre of your actual reading today, which is being done with the Greek Mythic Tarot by Juliet Sherman Burke and Liz Green, Greek Mythic Tarot deck, we have the Nine of Cups, which is a wish fulfillment card. It's a card of reward, a reunion. It's saying that there's a happy reunion to be had here. All these cups here are the cups that have been worked on, shall we say, in this relationship. It's like each of these emotional situations has led to some difficulties, some disappointments, some separation even. But now there's a time, and it's at the very heart of the reading. So it's saying that this is either happening now, or it has happened, or will be happening, but it's what you want. It's what you're seeking. You're seeking a reunion with somebody who you have a very close bond to, somebody who you deeply, deeply feel strongly. Strong feelings of love in this card, strong feelings of happiness. And the three cups here, one being held by Aphrodite and Eros and Psyche, represent for me the celebration that you see normally in the three of cups. So this is kind of the nostalgic, leaving it behind, and this is the celebration of the new, of what's to come in, what's yet to be, celebration of something to be worked on. So that's at the very heart of the reading. So that's a lovely card to have at the heart of the reading. And what you have above you and in your mind, what you're aware of, your conscious awareness, is the Knight of Pentacles. And the Knight of Pentacles is a very dependable character. He comes in slowly. He makes sure that everything is as it should be before he comes in. He doesn't come rushing in like some of the other knights do and then kind of muddle it up along the way, or kind of make how can you say it, make it happen as and when. The Knight of Pentacles is much more practical, much more pragmatic. He likes to think things through before he acts. He's very dependable. You can see the bees in the background here, the kind of hives. He's the kind of nature loving, you know, he appreciates all the good things in life, and he's willing to work hard for them. He's willing to share them with somebody else, and that's what he wants to do here. He's coming in saying, I have this pentacle, I want to share something with you. So he's dependable, he is hardworking, he's somebody who does things for the sake of doing them rather than for the glory. He doesn't seek glory, he doesn't seek fame and fortune for doing what he does. He just does it because it needs to be done. He's one of these people who will just see something needs to be done, and he'll just get on. He'll just get on and do it, and just, like, you know, not expect any thanks, praise, glory. So at the bottom of this reading, we have the Six of Swords, which is upside down. Now the Swords cards relate to the intellect, the mind. And in this reading, if you turn it up this way, you can see that all of this water here is all very turbulent, and it's moving out of a turbulent situation and into something that's much more serene and much more calm. And it's saying that this person wants to leave a situation behind and go to this place here. He doesn't know how he's going to get there. He doesn't even know where he's going, who he's going to take with him. And he's asking himself all these bigger questions of where is he going in life, what's happening with his life, who is he leaving behind, who is he taking with him. But because this card's reversed, there's a situation where this person doesn't necessarily want to leave the situation. He doesn't want to leave behind the people that normally in this upright situation he would want to be leaving behind. So he's reluctant. There's a reluctance here in this card to move forward. There's a reluctance to leave something behind that he wants to still have with him, he wants to be a part of. And I would say that this card goes very nicely with this Nine of Cups here. Sorry, it should be that way around because it's at the bottom. So it goes very nicely with the Nine of Cups here, because there is a reunion on the cards, and this person does not want to leave that reunion behind. He doesn't want to miss out on the love of his life. And he knows that if he moves too far forward, or he fears that if he goes too far forward, he'll be in a situation where he can't go back. He can't go. He'll lose what he still really wants. What's moving away, and what's been around for a wee while, what's kind of helped to create this situation, is the Magician. And the Magician is saying that there's been a crossroads reached in this person's, or in Cancer's life, the life of Cancers out there. A crossroads has been reached, and they've had to decide which path they're going to take. And it doesn't really matter which path this person takes, because they've gathered together all the tools that they need. They've got their pentacles, they've got their caduceus, if you see here, the caduceus of creativity. They've got their sword of the intellect. They've got their cup of emotions, and it's bringing it all together in one creative endeavor. And the magician is raised his hand up here, and he's got his other hand pointing down, because he's going to bring what he wants down and make it a reality. And the red cloak here that he's wearing relates to the base chakra, the red, the physical, the earthing, which is very much this card here. Slowly but surely make it happen. It doesn't have to be done overnight. This can take time. But when it does happen, it happens in a way that is long lasting, is very positive, has a lot of potential, a lot of growth. Because if you look here with this card, it's very green, it's very lush, it's very full of life and full of nature and nurture, and it's a very beautiful card. Even he himself is wearing brown and green. He's a very nature orientated, grounded energy. And this is what the magician has been doing all this time. He's been grounding that energy down into himself to manifest something positive in his life. And what's moving in from that manifestation, there is a situation of coming out, a time of being in a cave, of hiding away from the world, probably after a time of hurt. If the Nine of Cups has got anything to do with it, it means probably that there's been situations of having to look within and ask yourself some very deep questions. And with the Six of Swords reversed here as well, not wanting to move on, there has been this period of time of just staying stuck in this cave. And the cave for me always represents the inner, the subconscious realm of the mind and the body, of having to, almost like a wild animal that when it's hurt it will disappear inside a cave and heal itself. It's a very similar situation. And in the background here you can see the Hierophant in this deck. This is the Hierophant, and he has been teaching this person here, which in many ways represents the magician as well, with the red and the creativity. He has been teaching this person that even though he's been inside this cave, it hasn't been for nothing. It hasn't been a waste of time. He has been learning on a deeper level, not only about himself, but also about the world on another level, another depth. He's been going beyond what he would normally have understood and normally have known by going within, by going into himself and finding his answers within himself, rather than looking outside into the world to seek what he's looking for. And the two rods here, with the flames and the fire and the creativity, representing the creative mind, the creative energy, is saying that it's time to come out of that cave and it's time to explore, it's time to put your ideas into something new, to make something, create something. And with this at the heart of your reading, Cancer, I would say that this is very much to do with that flame of love being rekindled and looking for a way to ignite that passion again, because this is a kind of passionate card. And although it's not an ace, I would say because it's not an ace, it's not a new situation. This is a situation that has been there for a while. It's something that's been rekindled, reignited, and wanting to work on it and create something with this person here. Make it happen. Make it a reality. That's what the magician, is saying. You can make this a reality. You can bring this down, ground it in the earth, and make it your dream come true. Give you your wish, your happiness, your heart's desire. So I'm going to pull a few more cards to clarify the situation with the Six of Swords reversed. And see what we come up with. Clarifying and some insight cards, please. Universe, Spirit, Family, Guides. What is it that the Six of Swords is trying to tell us? What's the message here for Cancers? Sun, Moon, Venus, Rising. What is the message? What do they need to be aware of from this time? What is the deep subconscious, unknown reasoning behind what's happening now? Have some clarity, please. There we go. So the first card we get is the Hangman, and this literally kind of speaks for itself. And for me, this card is all about sacrifice. It's about willing sacrifice, because it says that if we don't sacrifice something willingly, it will be taken away from us anyway. So therefore, it's much better for us to sacrifice something at a time when we need to do so, walk away from something. And it comes with the Six of Swords. So even though there's a reluctancy here, there has been an energy of sacrificing something that was dear to somebody. The sun is rising in the background though, so there is a new day dawning. But with the Hangman here, it also says that if we willingly sacrifice something, it doesn't have to be taken away from us quite as I wouldn't say violently, but quite as upsettingly, shall we say, as allowing ourselves the space to walk away from something and give it space so that it can actually be re-looked at. And that's really what the Hangman has done. He's gone away to kind of look at things from a different perspective. And I'm going to place a card over the Magician. And the Magician is the Ace of Cups. And the Ace of Cups is saying that this is what the Magician wants to manifest here. He wants to manifest a new feeling of love, because that's what the Ace of Cups is about. It's a new feeling of love. It's a feeling of allowing yourself to feel love again, and with all the aces are a new energy, and an energy that comes in and it needs to have direction, it needs to go somewhere. So the Magician has manifested this energy with the Two of Wands here as well. He's manifested this new idea of love, and he's looking to rekindle, to reunite with his love, and to make it work, to bring it out. There's a huge cup, absolutely huge cup. So there's a lot of love here in this card, a lot of love, with Aphrodite there, who holds the cup of love for anybody who's willing to reach out and take it. But at the same time, she does say there are tests and challenges that will have to be gone through in order to get to this point. It's not just always easy going. It's not all just easy plain sailing. There are often conflicts and struggles along the way. And it is a test in many ways of our love. Our love for ourselves and our love for the person who we choose or who we fall in love with, because we can't always decide rationally who that's going to be. The emotions take over and we don't often have a lot of choice. The Five of Wands is the card that's coming out next, and the Five of Wands is a battle with the self. And I would say that this card, I pulled this with this one in mind. So this is about the Knight of Pentacles having to have gone through a battle with himself in order to be able to reach this stage of his own journey. And this is all about, like I say, it's the battling of the demons, the things, our fears, the things that hold us back, to get the prize here. And the prize here is the golden fleece, and she in particular is very important because she is the only one that can lead Jason here, Jason and the Argonauts, to this dragon that holds what he wants. And in this case, for me, this is something, what he wants is this. He wants this. This is what he wants. But in order to get this, he himself has to go through his own dark despair, if you like, the battling of his own worries, fears, doubts. Is he good enough? Can he rise to the challenge? Will he be successful? All those things that stop us from actually being able to believe in ourselves. And until sometimes we go through these situations, we don't have enough courage, or even we doubt ourselves so much when we're in a relationship, the relationship that we thought that we really wanted to be in, and we probably do really want to be in, but at the same time we don't believe that we deserve to be in, because we have all this stuff to deal with within ourselves. And all this stuff keeps kind of coming back up and saying, you know, do you really think you deserve this? Do you really think you're going to work this out? Do you really think you're going to be successful? Do you really think this person wants to be with you? All those kind of fears come up. But the Knight of Pentacles is saying that he has battled through that in his own quiet, practical, step by step, like day by day, each moment, taking each moment at a time rather than trying to force the situation. It's one step at a time with the Knight of Pentacles. And the next card to come out, we have the World. And the World is saying that there needs to be a balance here. There needs to be a balance of working creatively with this other person. If it was up the right way, then I would say that everything is in balance. But I would say it's not in balance yet. There is the ability, there is the potential for balance here, and for working within the masculine and the feminine. See, if you look at this card, it's like one body, two heads. So it's like seeing the masculine within the feminine and the feminine within the masculine. And it's held within the circle of the Ouroboros, which is the snake with its tail in its mouth, which depicts this kind of never-ending cycle. Nothing really starts and nothing really ends. It just all kind of blends together. And it's not really until we get kind of further down the road, shall we say, that we can kind of look back and go, oh wow, I've moved on. That's not where I was 3 months ago, or 2 years back, or so. Because we don't get all these fanfares and this kind of, there's nothing to say, oh, this is the end, and there's no real kind of, it's not like watching a film where the credits are rolled, saying like, on to the next scene. It's just like, it happens. And because it's reversed, it's saying that there is a potential here to work with these energies together, the two, the dual, the duality, the masculine and the feminine, working together in balance and harmony, because that is what you need if you're going to have a successful relationship. If you're going to have a successful reunion, you need to work in balance. And the next card out we have is the Nine of Swords. And the Nine of Swords is, again, being a 9, it's almost reaching the end. It's almost the completion, with the 10 being the final completion. The 9 is the card of almost there. Still a little way to go, but you're almost there. And in this particular card, it's the fears, it's all the nightmares, it's not being able to sleep, it's the worry, it's the stress, it's the, is this going to work? Do I, again, very similar to the Five of Wands in the sense of like, you know, do I deserve it? What makes me believe I deserve it? But the thing about the Nine of Swords as well, because it's intellect, because it's all in the mind, it's not necessarily something that people see from an outer perspective, because you can look as though there's nothing going on in your life that's worrying you. You can put on a face, you can put on a mask, and you can pretend that everything's okay, but deep down there could be a lot of fears, a lot of worries, a lot of stress, a lot of just feeling as though you're at the bottom of a very dark well and you see no way out, and you know the light just seems to be further and further away from you, and it just feels as though there's, you know, it is the dark night of the soul, really, this card. It is the kind of like, you know, no way out, no ending, can't see a light in sight. And these furies just represent that madness, that inner kind of madness that only you can understand. And so I'd say that that's coming from, again, it's kind of coming from this place here. It was upside down again, so there is a possibility that this is ending, that this is kind of finished, that this is over. And the Nine of Swords is no longer affecting this particular situation, Cancerians. It seems to have left, which is a nice thing. And we then have the King of Swords, and the King of Swords is very logical, very kind of self-contained, somebody who doesn't show his emotions, somebody who is very clear-cut about how he feels, doesn't want to express himself in an emotional level. He has the scales here, as you can see. He balances and weighs things up in his mind before he makes any move or takes any action. His surroundings are very barren, very barren. So for me, it shows that a real sense of like no real kind of connection to anything. He's disconnected. He's kind of taken himself out of the situation, and he's looking at things from a kind of third party, if you like, point of view, of being able to see through and see more clearly and not be caught up in his emotions, not to be kind of just reacting on an emotional level. He's now gone into a kind of more closed off part of himself. And this doesn't necessarily have to be a king. It's not saying just because it's a king that it's a man. It can, you know, the masculine energy, as with the world here, you know, I think it's a great depiction of the fact that we both have, you know, masculine and feminine within us, within the same body and the same psyche. And this is just a masculine energy in the sense of the king is very like seen as the, you know, the ruler, the head, And this is a very head type of card as well, quite Aryan in many ways, in the sense that it's ruled by the head, the logic, rather than ruled by the emotions and the passion. There isn't really a lot of passion there. There's not really a lot of anything other than the intellect in this card. So it's all very kind of calculated, thought through before any decision is made, before any action is taken. And then we have the complete opposite, which is the Cancerian card. The King of Cups is the complete antithesis of the King of Swords. It's like night and day, night and day, night and day completely. This king totally sits in his emotions, totally relates emotionally. He understands nothing else but his emotions. He's a highly, highly sensitive, intuitive, caring, compassionate king, or energy, masculine, feminine energy. But like the crab, he never moves directly. Unlike the King of Swords, who is very direct and you know what you're getting. He'll tell you straight, he'll give it to you straight, no BS. This king will test the water, walk sideways, test the water, walk back out again, think about it. If he likes it, he'll come back again. Test the water and back out again. The crab, if you watch how a crab moves, it always moves sideways. Crabs never walk directly at anything. And this card is the water elements, but in particular, Cancer itself. It also relates to Scorpio and Pisces. And there are elements here as well of the Piscean wounded healer within this card, but that can also be a very watery, emotional aspect of this king. And he is a very how can I put it? He's very highly in tune with other people's feelings and other people's emotions. He can pick up on other people's feelings and emotions, but he doesn't necessarily understand his own or even want to look at his own. So he will be great for counselling, for caring for other people. But when it comes to him looking at his own feelings and his own wounds, shall we say, he doesn't want to go there. He does not want to look at it. And this is pretty much, you know, what the King of Swords is saying, that on some level, sometimes we have to take ourselves away from the emotions and look on a logical level. So after the King of Swords, we have the King of Cups come in. So it's almost like the logic has then been kind of over analysed, and the only thing that's left is the emotional feeling. And the emotional feeling knows what the heart wants. It knows what it desires. And what it desires is this situation here. That's what it truly wants. That's what it's truly seeking, Cancerians. So for any cross-watchers out there as well, this could also relate to yourselves. If you're watching for Cancerians, the energy can be mixed. It can be not mixed so much, sorry, as crossed over. So it can be reversed, so that you are the one that is being given this message for yourselves rather than for the person that you're watching for. And lastly, I pulled earlier a Esther and Jerry Hicks card from the Ask and It Is Given deck. And interestingly enough, the card that I got is behind my every desire is my desire to feel good. And that is really what this Ace of Cups is saying here. I want to feel good. I want to feel love. I want to be loved. I want to give love. I want to wallow. I want to wallow in love. I just want love. I want to feel as though I'm desired, wanted, needed. So the card itself here says there is no desire that anyone holds for any other reason than that they believe they will feel better in the achievement of it. Whether it is a material object, a physical state of being, a relationship, a condition, or a circumstance, at the heart of every desire is the desire to feel good. And that's what this card is saying. She's lying there in the flowers, feeling good, just letting herself feel good, just enjoying herself. She's got a blissful smile on her face, and she's just loving where she's being, because she knows that if she feels good, she's going to manifest that energy around her. She's going to manifest what it is that she's looking for and wanting. So Cancer, I hope that this reading has helped you. If you have enjoyed this reading, please could you give it a thumbs up? Could you like, subscribe, tap the bell so you can get future readings when they come out. The description is going to be in the... my details will be in the description box down below, along with a link for a free astrological chart. And wishing you all the best, and hopefully see you next